Hello there, welcome back to Over Infinite Limits, Ryukyu West. Last time we fought Ming, we dealt with our rebel issues, and I'm now more or less ready to declare war on Manchu. As soon as my troops get into position, we'll do so, and we'll also go after Korea right afterwards, I think. So, with that in mind, we will be declaring war pretty much straight away. Hopefully we'll be getting what we came for. We'll also be dealing with rebels. As you can see, I actually have most of my troops placed in provinces where those guys will pop up. Inorikai is very important for my hair. What I basically just need here is a guy with high admin skills. Diplomacy can basically screw me right now because we don't really need it. What we need is military skills and administrative skills, because we will not be lowering info limit. The little minus to what's its name? To war exhaustion doesn't really help me that much. So yeah, Manchu is our next target, and we'll most likely just go ahead and declare war. The ally with Tibet, which basically can't get to me, so they're no problem at all. Those guys were actually already situated in the right province. Yeah, this will actually be quite difficult, I think, because I have no idea if they have level 2 force or not, and yeah, they do. And I also managed to hit it right on a tick, which is kind of bad. So we'll split this one in half. We'll have them siege everything we can, and hopefully we'll be able to take them down a notch too without causing ourselves too much trouble. Here we go. The peace deal we are making with Manchu is basically a pretty good one. We'll get prime access to Korea, and that's basically all that matters. That's what I wanted to get in this war. And right now we will most likely be going after them straight away. It doesn't really matter to wait, because we have Ming and Tibet both have peace deals with me, so that they will probably almost guaranteed not join in. There will be, of course, some more rebels to deal with, but it should be fine even so. Okinawan, the British are there, not surprisingly, but as I said, we have basically everything still under control, so I wouldn't actually worry that much about it. And let's see, a 4, so it's probably over there. As I said, Korea is the next target that needs to be dealt with, and hopefully we'll be able to do so straight away. We've been cowards anyway. That event is a little bit scary, simply because of the fact that it adds to my forces it adds to my war exhaustion. That's basically what's scary about it. But even so, we should be able to keep things going. Siege of Uji is over, and yeah, I'm a little bit surprised really that people haven't been declaring war on me other than Great Britain, because once I actually wasn't over or had gone over the infamy limit, no one wanted to declare war on me. But right now, no, sorry, I messed that up. Back then, everyone wanted to declare war on me, but now nobody even thinks the thought. So yeah, I've apparently done something right lately. So Siege of Okinawa has been lost. Great Britain has taken it. Can't say I care that much. Okinawans are basically used to, by the way that I've played this now, to getting themselves in a position of where I'm not in charge. A little bit surprising though, that that's the only place they actually dare to land their troops. But I guess that's to be expected. We have a lot of men. I think we still have better tech than them too. So it's not really that surprising that they aren't actually landing more troops in my backyard, to put it that way. But yeah, apparently I placed my guys in the wrong province again, but these guys apparently wasn't the right one. We'll send some troops to help, and we'll place these guys on the Persian front line, simply to make sure that we can deal with them. But without any further ado, I'll get done with the Koreans, and then I'll get back to you. We could actually annex Korea, and of course that is what we'll do. But with this, we have actually run out of targets. See, Ming has trouble with peasants on their own, but that shouldn't actually be anything to bother us. We also got Great Britain out of the war with a white peace, and we're back 100 prestige. Uncontested claims, I have no idea. It's all in Ming, which is kind of a bad thing, I guess I should say. But even so, we need to try and get a Persia, Khorasan, or someone to actually attack us. It's tempting to simply attack without a casus belli, and I've given up keeping my stability up, even if it helps against the real risk kind of substantially when you think about it. We'll try and invest a little bit more in land. We want to have our land tech high because we will need it once we actually get to Europe. But as you can see, the only one who has the same land tech as us here is actually just the French. So we are fine in that aspect for now. So I think I'll actually go ahead and do this. Focus on stability for the time being. Try to get it up, although it'll probably be smacked down straight away. But it'll at least help a little bit with the amount of rebels that we have. Other than that, we will be waiting for the next war against Ming. Probably get Horde going, and then once we actually meet Russia, I'm pretty confident they'll actually declare war on us. And if not, we'll probably have to declare on them. But for now, I need to wait to see if I can get some casus belli going, and then we will try to declare war on basically anyone we can. We had a slight move and I went full quality, which basically will be important right now. I'll probably also go full land to boost our forces. Other than that, we'll probably push for narrow-minded and probably even serfdom, slowly but surely. It'll make my technology very, very expensive, but it will help me in keeping rebels down, keeping stability up, and so forth. Might even go free subjects and narrow-minded because they basically balance each other out, and also I get a little bonus attack. But yeah, we'll have to think about that for a little bit, and then we'll see what we'll do. It's time for another war with Ming, and well, we just declared it. Should be a easy victory here, but all in all, it could also get a little bit hairy thanks to the sheer amount of rebels I've been having lately. Malacca declared war on us. Finally, you guys have been very, very slow. I think I will get my troops over there. If not, we are kind of in trouble. Unfortunately, Persia has taken most of their provinces though, so that doesn't really help me nor them. So as for now, try to siege and take as much land as possible from Ming. Will be basically the prime target here. And once we have taken at least a little bit of land, we'll get things going. As you know, the problem is that we currently border too few people, and that's basically leaving us in a position where we have way too few enemies to actually fight. No one wants to declare war on us, but once we get to Europe with all the smaller guys, I guess I should say, we'll be in a much better position in terms of getting people to actually attack me. And once again, I couldn't actually get my troops over there, but I think my navy is actually stronger than theirs, so I just have to take these guys, send them down here. I think that should scare them away to allow me to get my troops over there. If not, I'm a little bit surprised, overacting as always. But yeah, that should potentially be enough to have these guys give up. We don't have the best navy, but it's not crappy either, so we should be alright. I might have exaggerated a little. We don't have the crappiest navy, but it does work very well against European nations, so we will be a little bit careful. I guess I should correct myself to say that instead. With that said, we will be taking down Malacca, or at least taking 1 or 2 provinces from them, and we'll do the same with Ming here. Hopefully we'll be able to pick off at least some provinces, but it's not really a problem if we can't. We will have more chances, that I can say for sure. So the only also problem with us not being at war is that we don't gain the same amount of prestige that we should have, that we actually need to keep ourselves going. With that said, we'll keep on fighting. We should be done with Ming in 2 or 3 wars. We do want to get after Persia or Khorasan, but apparently it doesn't help. I've already sent warnings to Persia and Khorasan just to try and get myself into a war with them without having to sacrifice stability. But at this rate, it might be actually the only choice that I have. Take the coastline here, try to get to Syria, Haza, and so forth. Might even try to get to the Ottomans here, and then we'll see what we'll do from there. But as things are going now, we might even if we do spend the next 100 years over the infamy limit trying to conquer everything, we might actually be not be capable of pulling this off. But we'll at least give it a try and see how it turns out. deal with Ming. Apparently they will not accept that, so we'll take away a couple of cores. But we are at least taking 6 new provinces, so we are at least growing. Also, we would potentially have a extreme amount of not Sicilian inflation if we didn't actually have it turned off. So we also took just 1 province from Malacca. Could actually take more, so that's a little too bad. Should potentially also taken the capital here, but I didn't. So we'll see how this turns out. We have some rebels to fight, but even so, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. We'll fight another war against Manchuria. I actually forgot that the truce is up, so we'll be placing our troops at the border. We'll be sending a unit up here to help with rebel suppression. We'll have those 3 in the Manchu lands. So without any further ado, I think we'll just get ready, fight the war. Hopefully we'll get a border with the Oirat Horde, which should allow me to get a border with Russia sooner or later, and that'll allow me to start conquest in the north, I guess I should say. It will be, of course, very painful to conquer those lands, but it will be necessary, so we'll probably do it. We have been keeping our stability at about 0, and we're actually investing in stability. So we'll have to see how we'll actually cope with that. If I'll actually turn from stability to land tech, I'll probably will sooner or later. So as I said, we'll have to consider that. See, I'll have to take a little bit of pros and cons. We'll take the money. Thank you very much. The money will probably be quite important later on, as we'll probably need it more or less. But as we have been doing right now, we'll be continuing dealing with Manchu. Hopefully we'll be able to deal with or take out their troops now, and that should basically make this easy pickings. As you can see, we will be taking the western parts of Manchu, and that will give me a border with the Oirat Horde, which should allow me to start a war with them, where I can sooner or later colonize, which will be what we will be aiming for. We'll also get 26 infamy, which basically means I will be taking 13 of the provinces here. So that should work out pretty damn nice. And with that said, we are now in a war with the Oirat Horde. The real problem with taking the Russian lands is basically that it takes forever to actually walk between them. So I'll actually have to keep troops in the area for the simple purpose of keeping everything in check here. So we'll see how this turns out, but for now I think we should be just fine. Finally, some good news here. Malacca declared war on us, and as a bonus we got Khorasan and Punjab joining in. So with that, we will most likely take at least some of the Khorasan lands. At least Punjab will be rightfully annexed. Malacca will probably not be gaining anything from as usual, since we basically have taken everything that we can without using boats. I don't want to use boats because, well, transporting my troops between islands is basically a huge annoyance, more or less. So with that said, I will be sieging their lands. I will be trying to make this quick, take as much as possible. Hopefully, piss off Persia in the process, so that I can actually get them to end up in war with me. But as you can see, we are in 1727. We haven't actually gotten our asses out of Asia yet, and that is very bad news in terms of managing to pull this off. I'm not really good at, well, when I can't actually play the colonizing game, so we'll have to see if this is actually at all possible. But as things are looking now, it will be difficult, but at least kinda a decent possibility at the very least. So we'll see how this turns out. 90% of my, or most of my rebels, I dare say, come from the surrounding nations sending spies. So rebels so far haven't actually been a problem, and if I can simply keep the army pressure, the amount of troops to everything else at the same level as I have now, I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to pull this off without too much trouble. The fact that we have 16,000 rebels in Delhi is the highest number of rebels since these three, or this stuff. So with that said, we'll keep on going and see if we can pull this off. We'll do it simple. We'll take this from Khorasan. We can't actually annex them in one war anyway, so this is basically the best we can hope for. We can also have them give up the course, which is good. the funny thing is, I can still annex Punjab here without any trouble whatsoever, so we'll do that. And with that, we have, well, more or less sorted out that issue. And already now, hopefully, to get Persia on the warpath. But I still kind of doubt it, so we'll just peace out with Malacca here. No real reason to keep on a war that I won't actually do anything with. Have them simply give up the call on my lands and take all the money. And that, I think, is basically all we'll be doing this episode. There are still some rebels running around that has to be dealt with. But other than that, we are basically set. We have started colonization of the Oirat Horde. We are ready for another war against Ming. Tibet has gotten some provinces back, but if they still have their alliance with Manchu, they'll be right in there. Can do a quick annexation. So all in all, things are, well, we are at least making some sort of progress here. We have 148 infamy now. We should potentially have double that if Persia had actually dared attack us. But once we get about here, we'll have so many targets that will be attacking us, we'll most likely complain that there are too many of them. So until then, we'll most likely just keep on with a little bit slow expansion. We have been keeping ourselves on over the infamy limit now for I think 20 years, if I'm not, or 28 years if I'm not mistaken, 23, something like that. And it's not really a problem with a small nation as we are now, but the real problem will be once we actually have to try and take Americas, Europe and so forth, and with less than 100 years left, it'll at least be a challenge if we can't at least get Persia or someone else to simply attack us right out. So we might even have to break the simply declare war on them without reason. We might actually have to change to a republic dictatorship to do so. And if you think about it that way, I might actually want to wait for this guy to be switched out, because he has been ruling now for nearly 40 years, 37 if you think about it. So he's most likely soon to die. So if we get a good administrator, we'll most likely go for a republic dictatorship. I think I can, yeah, republic dictatorship, because of the fact that will allow me to use a imperialism, I think, or something. That'll allow me to take provinces for 50% infamy, but that doesn't really matter, because the basic behind it is I'll get a CB, and that's basically all that matters. It will hurt my income a little bit, thanks to losing the 10% trade efficiency from an administrative republic, but we'll probably change back once we need a new, better guy. With that said, this is the end of this episode. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism. Hopefully we can pull this off, but I have my doubts, so I'll see you next time. Bye.